Before you guys go on piling on Cristiano Ronaldo, the 41-year-old man who has shown up for Portugal for 22 years, undoubtedly, let's actually watch the game. Let's watch what is actually happening instead of you just piling up and focusing on did he score, did he not score? Because that is one of the ways that people that watch the TV or watch the game or have an agenda against Cristiano Ronaldo watch football. Now let's absolutely make this clear. Cristiano Ronaldo made history as the oldest outfield player to ever start a World Cup match at 41 years and 132 days. He earned that spot not by accident. Let's start with that. But before we even go in defending Cristiano Ronaldo, let's absolutely lay down the argument that Thierry has absolutely made, because let's not even talk about the fact that Rio Ferdinand has given us a sense or given us a situation to look at Thierry, especially with his analysis with Cristiano Ronaldo sideways. Now, I'm not saying that Thierry Henry has a vendetta against Cristiano. However, we can absolutely say that every single person that has either gone through Barcelona or has had a bad time on the back end of Cristiano Ronaldo putting belts to ass is just against Cristiano Ronaldo in this situation. But let's focus on that. One thing is important. People, please, at home, the team needs to score and not you need to score. Henry says this 3 times. He said this 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, about a single moment in the 68th minute of the Portugal versus Congo game. Now, don't get me wrong. I am support of Congo. I wanted Congo to get a point or even 3 points in this game. But I would not like, because this is just lazy analysis at this point. Every single person is allowing and putting blame on Cristiano Ronaldo's head. Is it because Messi scored 3 in the previous game? Or Haaland scored 2? Or Mbappe scored 2 and Hurricane scored 2? Is that the reason why? But let's focus on this, because he goes on, Thierry Henry, to be focused on. He goes on saying, Cristiano Ronaldo has been in this situation multiple times. If you make that run here, you make the defender take a decision to crash the 6-yard box. But because he wants to score, he goes into the path of the back pass. You see both players and it's easier for you to defend. That is what Thierry Henry said. And that was not it. Because someone I actually love in terms of the way he plays football, then piles on. He piles on in the same segment saying, normally as a striker, you go from the front post to the back post to bring the defender with you to open space for the guy behind. So obviously you made the wrong choice here, Cristiano. Now, in this particular part, and I'm quoting them this is a direct quote from what they said. It looks like he's talking directly to Cristiano, as if Cristiano is actually watching the show. But let me say this to both parties. Now, I never played football, nor did I. Well, let me say that again. I never played football into the level that these two players played. I cannot even lace their boots when it comes to this. However, football is a very simple game. When you watch it as much as I've watched it, you then begin to realize patterns. You then begin to focus on the patterns in this situation. Now let's speak about that particular situation. Cristiano Ronaldo, in this situation, had a player crossing the ball, giving a back pass. It was square back pass. Cristiano was in path of that ball. Yes, he was going backwards. However, Bruno Fernandes was in a better situation to strike the ball. We need to understand that, and that is crystal clear. Bruno Fernandes is running towards the ball while Cristiano Ronaldo stopping his run in order for him to be able to swing at the ball to get the ball. Yes, with that explanation, you understand who has the better chance of scoring the goal there. Cristiano Ronaldo could have opened his legs or done a dummy for Bruno Fernandes to shoot the ball at goal because he's at the center spot to score. However, this is where things are getting wicked, because when Thierry says you should have made the run to the back post, a second later, Aaron Wan-Bissaka Sebi and his other man is literally split open. He is split open because the runner in the back post behind Bruno Fernandes is making the run to the back post. And as a striker, every single striker understands that when your winger is going to the bar line, there are two ways you can do it. You can run into the back post to get a square ball, or you can check your run while the defenders are going towards the goalkeeper. You check the run in order for you to stop and get the opportunity to score. That is the job of a striker. That is the job of a flipping striker. These two players understand that thing. They understand it because I've seen Zlatan do it at Manchester United. I've seen Zlatan do it at Barcelona. I've seen Zlatan do it at AC Milan. I've seen him do it at Ajax. Henry, I've seen him do it at Arsenal. I've seen him do it at Barcelona, even though at Barcelona he was second fiddle. He was second fiddle, absolutely looking for a Champions League. You understand? He was looking for one. But let's not go there because this whole video is not about me attacking Henry. But the focus is that Ronaldo did what a striker does. It's quite simple. He did what a striker does. He saw the run of the play. He saw that the ball was going to be checked back. And as a striker, you check back. Now, is his decision to strike the best decision in that situation? No, but he's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's always going to back himself to put the ball in the back of the net better than anybody can do it. It's as simple as that. You can absolutely say, oh, that is not the right decision. That is not the right decision in that situation. But the truth about it is, who says Bruno Fernandes would score that goal? Who says he would score it? Now you can tell me, Bruno, being that I am a United fan through and through, I know Bruno Fernandes is one of the best finishers coming from the midfield that we have seen in football in the last decade. He can absolutely do that. But the truth about it is that these two men, this Henry and Zlatan, are criticizing Ronaldo for something that every striker would do. Every striker. They are criticizing Ronaldo for something that Erling Haaland would do. They are criticizing Ronaldo for something that Harry Kane himself, the best striker in the world right now, somebody that has more than 60-something goals this year, would do the same thing. Because every striker would always always back themselves to score in that situation. Now we have answered that situation. Let's put that to the side. Because this is where the meat of every single thing is. Portugal had 724 completed passes, this was the most in FIFA World Cup match. While Vitinha total had 121, also the most by a Portuguese player in a single game in the competition. 121 passes from a single central midfielder in one game against DR Congo. And they were still drawing in this game. Here's where the kill shot absolutely happens. Because Portugal controlled possession for 75% of the match. But DR Congo had more total shots. Why is that? Can we all answer the question? DR Congo had 8 shots. 8 to Portugal's 7. And the more expected goals, DR Congo had 0.83 to Portugal's 0.64. I'm giving you stats here. And these stats come from Fox Sports. Go and check it if you want to check out. So Portugal had the ball and Congo were more, or let me say this, Congo was more dangerous as a team. Let that sink in. Just so you guys understand, let that sink in. Let it marinate. Because what Vitinha was doing was the rondos that we all seen in PSG and we loved. But in PSG, it's totally different when it comes to a international game. Vitinha completed 91 of 96 passes, hitting all 7 of his long balls and paced the team with 98 touches. The question isn't whether Vitinha passed accurately. He did. The question is, where did he pass the ball to? When you are completing 91 passes Your team finishes with 0.64 expected goals against Congo. You have to ask, were any of those passes actually breaking the lines? Were any of them breaking the lines? Or were they just recycled? Recycling possession horizontally while the attack was being starved? Because I can tell you, based on the game that I watched, Vitinha did not give Bruno Fernandes the ball in the pocket as many times as he needed to. Bruno was forced to go down to the left-hand side. He was forced to move to the left-hand side in order for Vitinha to pass the ball. I don't know whether Vitinha was scared of breaking line passes, because we have seen him do it in PSG, to Dembele, to Doué, to Kvaratskhelia so many times. So for him not to be able to pass to the best midfielder in the world, the best person that can create chances in the world, in the pocket, that right there is something that absolutely should be hit on the head every single time. And then we go to Neto. 1 assist, 0 danger. Pedro Neto got the assist on Neves' header. Credit where credit is due. But after that, no successful dribbles. According to the match data, according to my eyes, Portugal had just 1 out of 4 successful dribbles in the entire game as a team. While Congo completed 6 of 9 completed dribbles and attempted dribbles. Portugal's wide players couldn't beat their man. Aaron Wan-Bissaka absolutely put every single person in his pocket on that right-hand side. Portugal's wide players, absolutely none of them were coming to play today. There was no chaos, meaning there's no second phase chances for Cristiano Ronaldo to exploit. So there were no balls coming into the box where Cristiano Ronaldo is living. And Cristiano Ronaldo has made his name. Let's go to Bruno Fernandes. Because I'm a fair man. He's El Capitano to me. He's one of my favorite players in this decade. This has to be a tactical crime that nobody is talking about. Bruno Fernandes thrives in central pockets. And if you must know, if he is moving to the right-hand side, that's even better. But when you take Bruno to the left-hand side, all he's going to do is cut back to the right. Therefore, pushing him backwards rather than taking forward. It is quite simple. If you did not watch Manchester United, I don't understand how you could play with Bruno Fernandes and force him to the left. Receiving balls between the lines, turning and playing 1-2s. This is Bruno Fernandes' bread and butter. Fernandes blending line-breaking passes with attempts, with industry. That's Bruno Fernandes. In this game, total of 41 of 47 passes and 3 tackles. But look at where the passes came from. He spent the majority of the game on the left-hand side of the pitch because Vitinha, Neves, and Mendes were occupying and doing their whole rondo thing. Nobody could pass the ball in the flank. So Bruno had to come to the left-hand side and say, God dang it, give me the ball. When you pin Bruno on the flank, you remove his greatest weapon, the pocket. It's quite simple. He can play 1-2s off Ronaldo. He can make the runs. He can get the ball to Ronaldo when he needs to, when he's going on the left, in order for him to pass, to cross the ball to the far post. It doesn't happen often when he goes to the left-hand side. That is not where Bruno is more efficient. So we need, and Portugal needs, and this has to look at Roberto Martinez. You need to make them understand it goes through Bruno Fernandes. It goes through Bruno Fernandes. Stop doing this rondo in the midfield. It's international football. You get the ball, you pass it to your best players, and your best players create magic. Argentina do it every single day. That's the reason why Messi got the 3 goals that he got. They got the ball and they played it to Messi. Of course, Messi got the rebound of the shot for the second goal. But that is what Argentina is. You get the ball to your best players and your best players go to work. Now let's focus on Something that I just never wanted to do in my life, because I truly appreciate these players. This is the spicy part. But let's keep it fair. Let's keep it fair. Henry is a Barcelona, I wouldn't say legend, because he really did not do much with Barcelona. Yes, the treble absolutely meant. But he's a Barcelona player. He played with Messi. He has never hidden which side of the GOAT debate that he's on. We have seen so many ex-Barcelona players, and this is not a conspiracy in this situation. This is just the way I am mulling it in my head. Because like Rio said, Henry, even when speaking about Cristiano Ronaldo, there is no zest, there is no respect of brilliance, because he is a brilliant player. You should respect or just speak about how brilliant Cristiano Ronaldo is. Henry has had previously explained he favors Messi over Cristiano Ronaldo, in part because he played with the Argentine at Barcelona, saying, and I quote in this situation, "I played alongside Leo, so there is my answer." He said it as simple as that. So we understand where he lies. He has rose-tinted glasses when it comes to Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Fair enough. But that's an honest bias. Can we be all clear? That right there is an honest bias. But here's where things get really interesting. The night before the Portugal game, Messi scored a hat-trick against Algeria. Henry called it something that surpasses the usual greatness. And I quote, that is what Henry said. Adding, he said, "This is not just a new record in football, but a true football immortality." I guess now that we are speaking, now that we are talking about a hat-trick in the World Cup being football immortality, I guess Jonathan David has been immortalized in football. Can we all agree that? Let's all focus and say that. Let's focus and say that. That very next night, Henry uses one of Ronaldo's movement to build a narrative about selfishness. No comparable emotional language, no context, just 7-word hammer. Just straight up. The team needs to score, not you. That is what he said, end quote. Now ask yourself, if Messi had made the exact same run in the exact same situation, would Henry have called it selfishness, or would he have called it the instinct of a generational scorer? Let's be frank. Would Henry have called Messi, if Messi had done the exact same thing, would he have called him selfish, or the instinct of someone that has done it multiple times, that is close to scoring 1,000 goals that is recorded, by the way? We already know the answer. So let's not act like as if we don't. When Messi is criticized, when he was criticized for his work ethic in a Champions League game, literally filmed walking on the pitch, Henry defended him immediately, saying, "When I see people having a goal at Messi, for whatever reason, I laugh. One rule for Leo and one rule for Cristiano Ronaldo." And we all understand, and the narrative has all spoken about Messi. Oh, he walks around the pitch and he's calculating in his head. He's calculating on what to do in that situation. Let me tell you something, to be real honest. And even though that is arguably, there is truth in every situation in that topic, it does not do the best for his rest teammates. Let's be frank with it. The rest of the 10 other guys or the 9 other outfield players are doubling their work because Messi works. He cheats. Now, does he work? Does it work? Absolutely. He does work. Those him cheating, resting on his laurels when it comes to defensive duties, so he will have the energy for his attacking. It works. However, let's call a spade a spade. That's him cheating the game. That's him cheating in that situation in order for him to get the energy to score, to get the energy to dominate attacking wise. We all understand that. But let us just look at the numbers. Let logic speak for a second. Henry's critique centers on one play where Ronaldo got in Bruno's way. But here's my counter. Ronaldo led Portugal in shot attempts. Ronaldo had a game-high 3 shot attempts on Wednesday with 5 touches in Congo's box. He was trying. He was in the right areas. The build-up wasn't getting him the ball in good possessions. And that is pretty clear. There is no denying that fact. Number 2, in countering this flipping Henry's criticism of Ronaldo, the system wasn't designed to feed him. Martinez plays Ronaldo as a classic number 9. His job is to sit in the 18-yard box, is to live in the 18-yard box, and is to die in the 18-yard box. But the midfield never committed to serving him. Vitinha and Neves were passing sideways. Mendes wasn't getting forward enough. The supply chain was broken at the source, not at the striker. It was broken at the source. It was crystal clear. Number 3, in my breakdown of why it's not Cristiano Ronaldo's fault. Bruno's frustration wasn't about Ronaldo. The frustration was about the entire game because he was isolated. That's Martinez's problem, Roberto Martinez, and not the Ronaldo's problem. Number 4, in this criticism are debunking it. Ronaldo literally can't win in this situation. If he drops deep to get the ball, he is not contributing in the box. If he stays in the box, waiting for the crosses, he is selfish for not pressing. The goalpost moves every single time it's Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's absolutely put it down. Let's land the plane, if you may say. This was Martinez's failure on multiple levels. A midfield that is hoarded the ball horizontally instead of progressing it vertically was one of Martinez's failures. Bruno Fernandes criminally underused by being pushed out of the central pocket where he's most lethal is Martinez's fault. Wide players who cannot beat their man removing any delivery into the box is Martinez's and those players' fault. A 41-year-old striker being scapegoated for tactical poverty of the system around him, that right there is our fault. Because we are being lazy to look deep into what is happening. Even DR Congo's Nagil Marku admitted Ronaldo is not the same as before. He is a little older. Nobody is denying Ronaldo has declined. But decline doesn't mean liability. It means Martinez needed to build a system that compensates for that. And he didn't. And instead of accountability going to the bench, it went to the man in the number 7 shirt. And what was Ronaldo's response? Remarkably calm, as he always is. It wasn't what was missing. Nothing was missing. That is just how soccer is. Portugal could have won, and Portugal could also have lost. Those were the words of Cristiano Ronaldo. That is not him being deluded in any situation. That's a man who has been through stuff in this game to know one draw doesn't write the entire story. There are 2 games left. Don't bury Ronaldo. Fix the system. Blame is on Martinez. And maybe, just maybe, ask Thierry Henry why he uses a microscope for Cristiano and rose-tinted glasses for Messi. Because we all want to know. We definitely want to know. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments, because they blame Ronaldo, but the truth is pointing elsewhere. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.